Welcome back to another edition of Coffee Time with TD. Move over, Rova, and let TD take over. Be good or be good at it. God is great, always in, always. So we're doing our weekend recap where we look at the biggest moments of the weekend. And no, it was not President Donald Trump's 79th birthday military parade. It was Israel attacking Iran. Are we on the cusp of WW3? Possibly. I'm not going to rule it out. America's a dumpster fire, as we know. But the rest of the world, Middle East, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Iran is on fire and burning too, literally. No pun intended, but you know it is. Here's my hot take. Right? Because I've told you that in life you have to choose to be crazy or stupid. I chose to be crazy. I think, as we know, the United States knew that Israel was going to attack Iran. We knew that. They knew that. I'm going to take it a step further and say that I think that President Donald Trump and his administration, but especially President Donald Trump, because he's Billy Big Bollocks, I think he sanctioned it, right? I think he sanctioned it. And I'm not going to be surprised if somehow the United States gets sucked into this conflict, war, whatever you want to call it, with Israel and Iran. And I'm going to tell you why. War is good for business. War is good for business. It's a fact, right? And right now, the United States is on fire. The economy, inflation, whether it rose 1 or 2%, it still rose. Doesn't matter, it still rose. The stock market, the US dollar is in free fall, and every single thing that President Donald Trump has done so far has been a magnificent failure, right? So what do? You sanction a war. And I'm not going to be surprised at all if the United States gets involved, because again, war is good for business, right? And it deflects on all of President Donald Trump and this administration's failures to so far, because all we have so far is plastic straws and water pressure, right? That's all we have. And I think it's a good deflection because nobody is talking about all of President Donald Trump's spectacular failures to date. That's the truth. Everybody's talking about the protests, immigration, all those things. And, you know, Stephen Miller, you know, as I've said, is Trump's Goebbels. He's trying to ramp up the deportation numbers. Look at what's going on in New York, Los Angeles especially, California in general. And so it's chaos, right? And that's what President Donald Trump, because it keeps people distracted from what's really going on, right? It keeps them off kilter, off balance, because if you were to step back and look at it, you'd go, oh my God, we've got nothing except for plastic straws and water pressure, right? The Russia-Ukraine war is not over. Hostages aren't returned to Israel, on and on and on, right? All of his promises, nothing has come true, nothing. So what do? You back a war. That's what you do. You back a war. And he backed Israel, and I'm sure he sat there and said, oh, you know, we're going to support it, right? Because it takes away from people realizing that me and my administration have accomplished absolutely fucking sweet fuck all. Nada, nunca, nothing. They've done nothing. The dollar's in free fall, the economy, inflation still rose 1 or 2%, whatever it was. So what am I going to do? I'm going to back a war in Israel and Iran, and I absolutely believe that we will get involved in some capacity. I don't know, you know, to what extent, but I believe that we will get involved in the conflict between Russia and Iran. And because President Donald Trump likes to pretend he's Billy Big Bollocks and, oh, we're gonna make you a greasy spot and all this other shit. Shut up, donkey. You're a fucking donkey. Shut up. Right? But I'm afraid this is gonna go really bad really quickly. And I'm not gonna say that we're not on the precipice of WW3. Let me know what you think. Love you.